This movie is absolutely insane, and I had no intention of watching it. No, seriously. But then Frank Kramer from the Heidi and Frank Show, one of my all-time favorite podcasts, shared his thoughts.
It's a horror film. I mean, I don't want to ruin it, but I want you to watch it. Because in the beginning, I said the concept is good. But then it just took a turn and became like a B film where at the end, you're like, what is happening?
A fading celebrity decides to use a black market drug. That comes in the form of a cell-replicating substance that temporarily creates a younger and better version of yourself. But remember, this movie's insane, and it tackles a little bit more than that. Say this line represents addiction and substance abuse. This line represents ageism directed at women in Hollywood. This movie is where the two would meet. Elizabeth Sparkle would have never thought she'd be in this situation until she overhears the powers that be talk about her as if she was the family SUV, and it was time to trade her in.
I'll make it simple. We need her young. We need her hot. We need her now. Find me somebody new. Now.
Gross, he didn't even wash his hair. Hearing this undoubtedly breaks Elizabeth and confirms how she views herself. So at her lowest of lows,
I'd like
she makes the call
to order.
The voice on the other line tells her where she can pick up the substance. It leads her to the sketchiest back alley in the world, where it seems to test her resolve. Pause right here. Let's for a second put yourself in her shoes. Of course you're going in. Who are we kidding? So she goes in. Yuck. She makes her way to the somehow pristine locker room, grabs the package, and bolts. So how does this work, you might ask? Well, here are the rules. Step 1, the activator. It's how you'll administer the substance. Step 2, the stabilizer. Not for you, but for your other you. Step 3, switch. It's what you'll use to transfer from body to body. Then there's the food matrix. A 7-day supply for you and your other you. You activate only once. You stabilize every day. Then you switch back and forth every 7 days without exception. The instructions ask that you remember you are one. But really, what's the absolute worst that could happen? Hey, did we just do an unboxing video? And pause right here. So I'm going to fast forward through this part because it's a bit much. And boom, there you have it. A younger, better, sexier version of yourself. Now I know what you're thinking. It's time to party. Because why wouldn't you?
I'm Sue.
Oh my God, isn't she just great? Meet Sue, everybody! The hottest girl in town, and she's living her best life.
Making my way downtown.
Sorry, couldn't help it. Hey, why do I feel like I'm forgetting something? Oh, right. Time's up. Let's just give her a minute. So we're back in the good old Honda Civic, our old body. And boy oh boy was that first hit a doozy, so much so that Elizabeth starts scheduling out the next switch. And it goes on like this without a hitch. God, why am I rhyming so much? 1 week you're Sue and the next you're Elizabeth. But things start to get a little complicated. This is where we learn the consequences of not following the rules. Sue starts to get a little greedy by taking more shots than she's allowed. This takes a major toll on Elizabeth's body. Brace yourself, it's about to get dark. Sue steals an extra day, which costs Elizabeth a finger.
Few extra hours were accidentally used.
But the voice on the other end tells her what she already knows.
Remember, there is no she and you. You are one. Respect the balance, and you won't have any more inconveniences.
So to get back at Sue, Elizabeth stuffs her face and eats everything she can get her hands on. So Sue makes a call.
This balance is not working! I barely have any time to enjoy myself, while She wastes 7 days stuffing her face in front of the TV!
Remember, there is no she and you.
But Sue has just as much luck as Elizabeth. This is war, and it goes on like this for a while. Just out of curiosity, I made this time lapse to see the damage being done to Elizabeth in real time. Trust me, this still doesn't do justice to what she's going through. And yet, things continue to spiral out of control.
Cut!
Hey, so, remember how I kept saying this movie's insane? With an almost 2 hours and 30 minutes runtime, we're only halfway through. And the rest of the story is so insanely insane. I'm gonna have to edit my ass off.
Not a problem, let's get right back to it.
Sue gets her big break.
We have decided that we want you to host the New Year's Eve show.
Oh boy, hearing this, Sue goes gangbusters.
If you don't open the door when opportunity knocks, you won't get another chance. Just one more day, and then I have a whole week off. We can switch.
We're doing the cover of Vogue.
Just one more day, okay?
Sue takes a leg, an arm, and sorry, that one got me.
She didn't respect the balance.
So she makes another call. But this time, she's given a choice.
Would you like to stop? If you are not satisfied, you can put an end to the experience and go back to being just you, on your own.
The balance just needs to be respected.
So respect it.
Just so we're all on the same page here, you took a drug that creates a younger version of you, but you have to switch every 7 days. But that little shit starts taking way more than a week. And every time they do, it sucks the life force out of you. Wouldn't you stop? Yeah, well, Sue doesn't stop. In fact, she goes all in on red.
Gross, old, fat.
Sue goes scorched earth, draining as much stabilizing fluid as she can get. She's had enough, and there's no turning back now, because from now on, Sue is running the show. Oh crap, 3 months? Oh Sue, what did you do? Oh my god, stop rhyming. It's the end of the line. What happens when you run out? Well, like Nana always says, when in doubt, call the plug.
Hi, this is an emergency. There's no more stabilizer fluid. I'm telling you, this is urgent. There's no more stabilizer fluid.
It means you've reached the end. You've drained it all out. If you want more, you must let the fluid regenerate.
And the only way to do that is to switch. You know what's coming, right? Yeah, it's pretty bad. So I'm gonna just go ahead and, play this here. I'm sorry. You'll see why in a second. Okay, I'd like to apologize for my lack of manners and horrible behavior. It is not becoming of an AI voice, and you deserve better. Who the f*** am I kidding? Did you see that? This is it. This right here. Insane. The old Honda Civic is out of gas. Sue left you the backwash of her smoothie from Erewhon.
Leave me alone!
Hang on, I'm on a roll. This right here is the moment this movie goes insane. Elizabeth is at the end of her rope, and I am too. It's the 9-minute mark. Let's wrap this up. I'm not sure I can show any more of this movie, and I'm fine with that. I'm sure YouTube would nuke my channel if I did, but you should really check it out. To me, this movie felt like a group of people set out to make a film that tackles multiple serious topics, gave some great performances, mixed in some really cool sound design and a dash of cinematic aesthetic. Got all the way to the end, realized you still have a boatload of budget left and decided to have a party. I'm not saying that's true, I'm just saying if it was, I'd believe it. Also, I'm not saying that's a bad thing. Sure, it's a horror movie and I don't have any fingernails left because it's a horror movie. But I've watched it several times now and it really seems like they had fun filming an otherwise dark subject matter. Don't get me wrong, this movie isn't for everyone.
I watched this thing last night. 10 out of 10 do not watch. I teach mental health. It's all about the body dysmorphia, so I get how Demi Moore wants to stay beautiful, wants to stay young, wants to live forever, so she keeps on going.
And some people might actually dig it.
The movie was amazing, actually. I think it captured the reaction we should have to Hollywood as it is now. For it being a sequel to The Thing, it was great.
Hey, thanks for hanging out. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
The sun, it's rising again.